We're live.
Okay. Okay.
Except you're like completely off the screen because your camera's not centered at all on your face.
What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, that's even better. That's good. Yeah, right there. Can you go
Okay.
a little bit farther to your left? Just like a tad more. Perfect. Yep. You're
How do I
perfect.
sound?
Wonderful.
Okay.
And you're perfectly centered on the camera, so that'll work. Right there.
I feel like I'm not being watched. Do you know how people have the feeling that they're being watched?
Mm-hmm.
I have that feeling, but the opposite.
That just means that you're just getting more comfortable with being on camera because you're on
Holy shit!
because you're on camera right now.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, because I've been really nervous to be honest. To be totally frank, I've actually shit myself a few times while we're streaming, but I'm too embarrassed to admit it, so I just sit in it for hours.
Gotcha.
Um,
Well, hopefully that won't be a problem.
no,
Because you're
definitely
not
not,
nervous anymore. Because you're
I'm comfortable.
yeah.
Yeah,
It helps when you have somebody who perfectly frames you on camera, so that
yeah.
everything's taken care of.
Well,
All you have to do is just be
we are
yourself.
just testing before the stream, right? But the stream hasn't started because I did just admit something very embarrassing.
Yeah, we're definitely not live right now.
Okay, because I wouldn't want people knowing that I sit
And
in
poop.
in diarrhea. Sometimes it's diarrhea because I'm so nervous that my bowels can't even digest.
Right.
It's just nerves.
Yeah. Just make sure that put your bag back over your face before you actually get on stream. Before we actually go live, just so we don't disturb any of our viewers by accident.
I don't know if my nutsack could stretch that far there, Donnie.
I see what you did there.
Thank you. I'm glad you caught that. Radiant team. You guys see that? You see that? That's a teapot. That's got tea in it, and it's steeping.
This has been
I have some.
a really great intro bit to our replay review stream.
I have some here, and this is not as steeped as I would like it, but this will be. But I needed to drink some, so here it is. So if you guys want to join me in drinking some basically boiled water.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I've got some more tea. It's been steeping for a while now. Pretty great.
I've been steeping in my own depression for the past few days.
Yeah, that's been happening to me recently too. But I think
Really?
I think we're snapping out of it a little bit.
Think so?
Yeah.
Who says?
I think I'm snapping out of it at least.
Okay.
I don't really care about you, but I'm doing better.
That's
So
fair. That's good. That's good.
that's all that really matters at the end of the day.
Is it because your games are going well?
No, I think
Is
my
that
games
why?
are going well as a result of me not being depressed.
Cyclical, isn't it?
It is. In fact,
I've been okay. I've been, I'd say, probably on the more neutral side. Been doing a lot of work, as you would know, decent amount of work, and scripting things and stuff coming up from that. That I guess we could advertise those things that we're scripting for on our channel, right? And they would want that, wouldn't they?
yeah, probably.
I don't see why you wouldn't want somebody talking about that.
Yeah.
But
I
you
think
never
that's
know.
fair. I think that's fair.
My pubs have been going pretty well, to be honest. But I'm winning a lot, but I'm not winning. I'm not gaining MMR. I've been stuck at like 7,200 for Jesus, like 2 weeks now or something. I was 7,500, and then I fell because I had one very depressing, manic, bipolar sort of day. You know how it is with addiction. And lost a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't been able to recover. I've been winning, but it's not enough. Like the games are so inconsistent. I'm getting plus 15s, minus 35s, plus 22s, all of these just weird numbers.
Yeah.
Before, I think I would be 7,500 again, but I'm not like I'm not intentionally queuing to get plus 15s. It just happens that the people that I queue with, the people in the enemy team, it's like a stack of 3 with one divine player, and then a stack of 2 with another divine player, and
Right.
then we're a stack of 3 with no divines, and then we have one divine player in the stack of 2. So it's just plus 15 because of that. But then like one of the divines of the enemy team is a Smurf, or they're just on a support, or you have your divine as a mid against their top 100 mid, or some weird situation like that. And once again, I'm not complaining. Well, maybe I am, but in this situation, I'm not complaining. In general, I am, but in this situation, I'm not complaining. But it's just weird. It's really hard to. I was saying to Ellie, I legitimately think this is a problem for Dota, at least for me. I'm not getting the dopamine rush that I used to get for like winning MMR.
Mm-hmm.
It's not there for me. Like it's feeling
Do you think
more
it's
and more.
because you're stuck?
It's because I have a day where I'll go 6-4 and I'll lose MMR.
Hmm.
Or I went 3-1 the other day and I stayed the same. And it's like, man,
That
I
is
won today.
extremely frustrating.
This is the day that I'm supposed to get a big hit of dopamine from winning finally. And I didn't feel excited about it at all because it's like, well, shit, I haven't gained anything. I have no sense of progress.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I don't know. Mine has just been really weird. I've just been kind of not feeling it. I think I kind of like burnt myself out on playing support because lately I just haven't been wanting to make calls and like kind of dictate the game. But in a pub, if you're playing support, you basically just have to. You have to do the entire 45-minute game. It's not like your carry is going to take over and be like, "Hey guys, I'm strong. Let's play now." You just have to make calls the whole game because you're a support. And so I'll do that for like 2 games, and then I'll just get tired of it, and then I'll keep playing support. But then I just won't say anything the whole game, and then I'll be like, "Why is my team not doing anything?" And it's like, "Oh, because I'm not doing my job of calling the entire game." But that's a lot of work, and I just don't really want to do that right now.
Yeah. You know what I think? I think that this is going to be a tad tangential, but I think that Dota is we've been baited into thinking about roles like, oh, I'm an X role player instead of what jobs are you good at in the game. Like
Yeah.
nobody ever talks about that. Like, oh, I play really good initiators.
Right.
Maybe noobs talk about it. That's like a
I'm a great tank.
yeah, you get called a herald for talking about that, but I legitimately think that that's an objectively better way of looking at the game post I don't know, like TI 7, maybe even
Yeah.
TI 6. Like I play good like idiot heroes. I'm really good at being the dumbass that runs in and just makes space for my team. Like I'm really fucking good at that.
Mm-hmm.
And there are certain offlaners that require more finesse than that I can't play
Right.
because it's not my thing. And like I'm trying to get better. I want to be good at it, but if I'm playing something like an ogre, I've never like had a bad game on ogre.
Right.
It's always been like if I lose, the game still was going pretty well for me just because sometimes you just mesh,
With a
you
style,
just
yeah.
with a style. Yeah, I know like Hawkillionaire. I don't know if he's here, but Hawkillionaire, one of our devout followers, Patreon supporters, we love you. He plays safe heroes. He's really fucking good at Oracle and Wyvern, and maybe Shadow Shaman is something that like he's not as good at. He can still win with it, but like you watch that guy play safe heroes, and he plays like a 7K. It's just
Right.
his thing.
Yeah. I think that, and also there's like a whole process of sort of like self-awareness that you have to go through that I've been sort of realizing because I've been queuing support and hard support and safe lane and mid recently, and I've been getting mostly hard support, but I've been getting some regular like position 4 support as well. And the current hero pool of like Mirana and stuff is just not really what I like playing. I like playing like these roaming gankers, and Mirana is kind of that, but she's also kind of not. She has like a different job to some
Yeah.
extent,
Yeah.
and I've played her a couple times, and like it's fun, but it's really the whole time I just feel like I don't really know if I like this. I'm not sure if like
Yeah.
this is what I really want to be doing in a game right now.
I mean, man, it's a game. Like,
Right,
there's things that you'll enjoy and things that you won't enjoy doing, and things that you'll be good at because you've played other games or you have a certain personality type.
right.
It's
Like
just
playing anti-mage for me is just like the most miserable experience. You're just like anxious for like 30 minutes, and then you're anxious about like
yeah,
finding the right target for the next 15 minutes. And it's like if you pick an anti-mage, you're basically saying, "Hey guys, I don't like any of you, and you're probably going to hate me by the end of the game, but I guess I'll carry you if I play
yeah.
well."
Hey, Donnie, Surface asked you, do people listen to you when you try to make calls as a support? Just
uh,
saying, he's about your MMR. He says people tell him to get the fuck out.
it depends. I some games they do, some games they don't, and it's how you react to that is what actually makes a difference. I think that you should always make calls, but scarce calls. We've talked about communication and how over communication is a huge problem for most people.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
But I think in pubs, basically what it comes down to is you have to think about it as like a relationship between you and the people that you're playing with. Whereas if you're playing with a team, you're playing with your friends, they know you. They're going to listen to your calls, a reasonable amount of the time if you've proven to be intelligent. But you're thrown into a game where nobody knows you. Nobody knows whether you're good enough to be trusted. Nobody knows if you know what you're talking about. And more importantly, everybody starts out with a negative opinion of their teammates in Dota at this point. So it's like you basically have to like
It's so sad that it's
you
true.
have to dig yourself out of a hole to start the game before people will start listening to your calls. So,
Yeah,
so you need to make like 2 or 3 good plays on your own before anybody will actually listen to your calls most of the time.
yeah.
And that's just how it goes. And then essentially you just have to build this like relationship with your teammates where like you make a call, they listen to you, it goes well, they'll listen to your next one. If something doesn't go well, they're going to stop listening to you like 90% of the time. And so you have to like make up for it by doing a few good things, counter ganking, sitting behind them, making sure that they have stacks, that kind of stuff. And then they'll start listening to you again, maybe if things start going better. It's like people are not going to listen to you if they're having a bad game, period.
See, Donnie, I see, I see now why you say that you don't have the energy to do it in some games, because that sounds exhausting.
It is
You
exhausting.
basically just listed off like dozens of things and elements and
It
stuff that you have to pay attention to when you're
This is
just
playing
to
support
communicate on
as
your
a
mic.
pub.
I think it's just playing good support. I mean,
Yeah,
good. Maybe it's, once again, going back, it's not even support. Maybe it's just the role of like playing
shot
like
caller, I
a
guess.
shot caller
Yeah,
in pubs where like there aren't really any shot callers usually.
yeah. I mean,
So
that's definitely part of it. Like, there are some games where I play like, I'll just be lazy about my shot calling, and the games where I pick a hero like Shadow Shaman and I can just do my own thing also go pretty well because I can literally just be like, it's one of those heroes like a Spirit Breaker that just like communicates to your team without you having to communicate. You just like put your thing on Spirit Breaker on a hero, and everybody's like, "Oh, target this person." But if you're
yeah,
not playing a hero like that, then you have to be like, "Hey, watch out for this guy. Oh, Morphlink's over there. Make sure you use your spell in this." And like that kind of stuff needs to be communicated. Or like, I'm going in now and I have, or like, go in now, I have 4 staff for you. It's like, I don't know. It is exhausting for sure.
yeah. Sound it sounds awful.
For sure.
Um,
But that's
so
like that's my best skill, I think, in Dota is shot calling, and so I have to do it. Otherwise, I'm like 1,000 MMR lower.
it's a hard one. That's a hard one. There's some people that don't do it at all and they're 7K.
Yeah.
So William Ngo says, I'm probably totally mispronouncing your lot. Let me have an actual shot at it. Nyo? William Nyo? Is that how to pronounce NGO? Let me know. He says, hey, what do you guys gain out of
It might be
Patreon?
Yo, because NGYUEN or whatever. No, like when.
Yeah.
It's like common. Is it Thai maybe? But there's like a name that starts NG. and then I think it's like
Yugen?
YEUN. Yeah,
Yugen?
but it's actually Wen is how it's pronounced. So
I know that because of BoJack Horseman. That's one of the characters on there.
nice.
Her name's Diane. He says, "Hey, what do you guys gain out of Patreon? Us? We get money and people to talk to about our videos, which is cool.
Yeah,
And what do patrons get out of it? They get replay reviews,
infinite
Q&A.
value.
Oh yeah, good value. We talk to them. We talk to them quite a bit, and lots of coaching sessions.
So many coaching sessions. Tell them about the coaching sessions. Tell them how good they are.
I mean, it depends on the session. I've had well, shit. I should be upselling this, shouldn't I? I've coached people and they've gained 500, 1,000 MMR or whatever, and they're on there. I've coached some other people and they've gained a couple hundred. Some people stay the same, but usually people come back and a couple weeks later they show me like the win streak and they're very proud of it. And so I think there's definitely some value if you did want to see some coaching sessions. However, I'm going to be totally frank with you. I find coaching sessions insanely boring. Like not as a coach, but as like somebody who's
To
trying to watch
watch. Yeah.
BSJ's coaching sessions. I find it boring. They're not entertaining, but they're valuable in terms of It's like a lecture is not that entertaining either.
Right. It's kind of like replay review. Like it will help you get better, but it's also fairly dry content to be watching.
Yeah, of course. Our only patrons getting replay reviews. We have most of the time only done patron replay reviews.
It's just a time thing. We used to do this show for like 5 hours a day, and it got to the point where we didn't want to do anything ever again.
That was no bueno. That was not good. 5 hours. I linked you the replays, by the way. We don't have that many, so.
Oh, sorry. I need to share with you. We're already in one.
If there are any patrons in chat, which I see a few of you. Also shout out to Sergeant Sarcasm. I forgot that you said you want to have my babies. I was going to respond to that, but I will definitely give you some babies if you're that. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't remember. Let's get into the replays. There's not that many, so if you guys want to submit them,
or if you want to become a new patron and submit your first replay, and have your replay virginity taken on stream, we can do that.
That's too far.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, my dad had his virginity taken, Donnie. Have some respect.
On stream? Back in the 60s at Woodstock or whatever.
Yeah, they what do they even use back then? Some like wood, the wooden cameras.
I believe they did use wood, and they still use wood today to take those things.
I doubt it.
Anyway, Phantom Lancer. I admit I missed a lot of CS and lane, like brokenly way too many. But some were just because Sven had more damage than me. Also, my position 5 Undying went 4 into Decay and 4 into Tombstone, completely skipping Soul Rip, even though I was a PL and it works so well with Soul Rip. After I kindly suggest to him not to rush Ags and build some auras, he says, "You suggest me to pick a tank as 5 and expect me to support. Suck my dick and go fuck yourself." I'm very PMA, by the way. I don't even hate him for anything during the game. Just after this is a actual short story that I'm reading right now.
This is good. This should have been Pub Judge, man.
Just afterwards, now that I look at it, I realize how much my team, including me, sucks dick. I'm ranting, but that's okay because there weren't any replays submitted over the weekend. Lamau also not sure how Undying should have played that lane. He should either simply zone the Sven out or go help bot lane like I was asking him to. Can you guys talk a bit about how Pink could have played it better as well?
Okay.
All right. Hello?
Hello?
Can we go
Testing?
Can we go to PL? Oh,
you're undirected. Donnie, you're losing it, buddy.
Sorry, I got hypnotized by that story that I just read.
Yeah, it was pretty hypnotic. Okay.
All right.
So, PL Undying, and it looks like you're against probably Ricky plus Ogre or Ricky plus Weaver.
You said Sven. I think it's an offlane Sven.
Oh, I see. Okay, interesting. So you see the Sven now. Did we click him? We did click him.
We didn't click him.
I think we clicked him.
Nope.
Are you sure? Did you click him?
I did earlier.
Oh, okay. Fortunate fogging, but you know, you do. Oh,
Get
you can
that
kill
first
him.
blood.
Yeah,
Get that first
good,
blood.
good.
Get that quelling blade. Get that
QB stick.
stick. Buy that stick there, bud. Nope, no stick. Gonna save that gold for a Wraithband earlier, I suppose.
It's a small thing, but I think most carries go
Might as
stick.
well buy the stick. Right, you're there.
Well, they go like QB stick boots almost always.
Yeah,
Those are the
because it's right there. It's at the store. You don't have to wait, and you're gonna use the mana and HP in this lane for sure.
Okay, go back.
Sure. I didn't see a whole lot of aggro pulling going on in the lane.
Yeah, so I was gonna say this is not due to the Sven. Like the Sven's base damage is only, I believe it's like 67 or something like that. Is it?
It's
Or
actually
62. Okay.
62, so you actually have more base damage than Sven does.
But it doesn't really matter because you've a Quelling Blade, so he should never be able to deny you because you've 24 extra damage
Yeah.
on top of him that he doesn't get on denies. So the problem with these last hits is that number one, you didn't pull creep aggro away from Sven, which would make it so that he has to like run after it to hit it. So he literally just couldn't deny you. And number two, you're kind of just like you mistimed the walking up to the creep. You could have like been there earlier. And I'm not sure if you just don't play a lot of PL and know the last hitting animation and took a little bit longer than you expected or something like that. But
To me, it looks just like laziness because right there in that second wave, you missed 2 last hits in a row, and then I saw you like gather yourself for a sec. You like stopped, clicked on the hero or on the creep that you wanted to go, hit the stop to cancel your animation, and then sat there until it was in range and then last hit it. So it's like you were diligent about one last hit out of the first 8 or so in this lane. And
yeah,
if you want to be a good carry player, you need to be diligent about every single creep.
you just gotta you gotta really focus on it. This kind of goes back to what we were talking about in the long ass intro that we did. Just the fact that if you want to play really good Dota, you need to put like 100% of your energy into it, just because otherwise you're gonna have some guy like this Sven that's just kind of randomly going for the last hits or the denies, and because he doesn't give a fuck about it, he's just kind of like randomly getting them. That happens to me sometimes too, where like I'm just kind of trying to go for the denies, and because the carry is just like a little slow, it's like, oh, I guess I got this one. Oh, I guess I got this one.
Right.
But it's just because I'm going for it, and he isn't. You literally just weren't there for those losses. But anyway, I would say the biggest thing here is the creep aggro pull. I don't want to like stray away from what I think is important. I think the most important thing is that this Sven shouldn't be able to last hit the creeps because you should be pulling them away to get the last hit first.
Right.
Like, the very first thing you want to look to do when you enter the lane is to pull the melee creeps to your range creep.
I mean, and he did that. He's done that on almost every wave. So you know how to aggro the creeps and pull them. You just need to do that more. Like, if you think about it, when you do that, you make it hard for him to get the 3 creeps that run to your range creep. So if it makes it hard for him to get that, think about how much harder you can make it by pulling them even farther back when you want to actually last hit them. And then in lanes like not Sven, like a Skywrath mage or something like that, you make it twice as hard for him to hit you because you're pulling each creep super far away from the rest of the creeps, and he has to make a decision between chasing you and tanking creeps and last hitting his own creeps.
Yeah. So this is just like a Sven basically soloing up here, right?
Yeah, Undying
kind of
is
soaking XP for a while.
Yeah, I'm just gonna speed through this stuff.
I think pushing into him was probably a mistake too. Whatever led to the push into, because this guy's like free farming up here as an offlane Sven.
Yeah, I mean, there's really just no lane control happening right now. I think what I would say, Shadow Trader, is that you need to take the heroes that you want to play, and you need to go do the last hit trainer, and you need to get really used to freezing the creep wave and controlling the equilibrium. Because right now it feels like you just have absolutely no control over the creeps at all. And your Undying is not really there to mess up the creep equilibrium. So it's basically your doing that the creeps are constantly pushing into the Sven. Like Sven should be pushing them into you because he has cleave. So the fact that the wave is always at Sven's tower is because you're not controlling the creep wave equilibrium at all. Period. So just go to Last Ditch Trainer, do it like 3 or 4 times every day, and try and just keep the wave right in the middle, right where it's like in the middle of the river, and just get used to that. You'll figure out like, oh, okay, now that I have 3 creeps on my side and there's only 2 creeps on the other side, I need to hard deny this creep until the last hit becomes available, so that the creep wave actually becomes even. And that will allow you to actually do stuff.
Speed this guy up.
I mean,
Because this has just looked like a Sven getting a free lane,
yeah,
basically. So once again, pushing. I mean, I guess you have the siege creep, so you can use your doppelganger to try to take the tower, which is pretty good. Force people top. That's okay. I think that's good.
yeah, I think that was a fine movement.
At this point, the laning stage is kind of over, and you're just kind of farming.
I definitely wouldn't farm my way back to this lane. I think you're probably trying to farm your way. Although, if everybody's showing bottom, now
I think it probably isn't your job to defend the safe lane. If you ever feel like there's any danger for you being up there, you shouldn't be there.
right,
Just because
exactly,
you're a PL, your game matters the most. So whatever you need is what your team needs to do. So if being up here isn't good for you, then you need to just leave. And if your team loses the tower, then so be it. The map's
right,
going to get smaller, and then they're going to lose farm because you take the safe farm.
right,
And even idiots who are too dumb to go defend the tower because their PL shouldn't be doing it, like you don't want to be fighting. You're a PL. You know, it's like this should be up here. This should be like your BH and Undying and CM. You probably want to play like at the triangle or the enemy, or you go mid and go to the farm the triangle. Like once you push the mid wave out, go bot. So
right.
kind of chill around that area. Something like that.
Yeah, like right here, this is not your job. Like you've pushed the Sven out of your jungle, which is great. Like you made some nice plays, you dodged the Stormhammer, that kind of stuff. That was cool. But now it's like the job's done. This kill is so irrelevant for your game. What is important for your game is that you get as many stat items as possible as quickly as possible. So now that the Sven cannot contest you and the entire enemy is showing down here, just
Yeah.
go farm everything. Just go farm
Yeah,
everything.
exactly. You
So,
don't need to be the one pressuring or trying to kill anybody.
right. Like this movement right here is just complete insanity.
This is a big throw. This is a big throw for sure.
Yeah.
If the enemy team are morons, then you survive this. But like, there's no way that a PL should be diving into their triangle at 10 minutes and they don't respond. Like, if they don't respond to it, it's because they're bad.
Yeah.
It's not because like the play is good. I think I get that same sort of problem sometimes too, where I have this like kill hunker where I just want to like pressure because like fuck this guy, man. You know, he was annoying in lane. I want to like just beat his ass and chase him and it's like sometimes you actually just need to take the safe farm.
Right.
It's like sometimes it's not your job to be the one pressuring. I have this sometimes when I'm playing with my team, where they'll just be like, Jenkins, why are you like quote unquote making space? Look at all the safe farm that we can take. We don't need you to do that. And it's just like, oh, you're right. What
Right.
the fuck am I doing?
Right. Yeah. All right. So this is the last thing that I want to talk about in this replay, because I think we've given you a lot to work on already, and this is the next thing. This TP is terrible. Like, don't waste your TP as a carry. It's such an important resource. Just run to this jungle and farm this way, and then if they show up in the top lane, then you can TP to the bottom lane. But what this does is you're committing yourself to being on this side of the map, and what happens if they just start running into your jungle and taking your safe lane tower? Like, you can't leave.
Bot, then your team has to TP top. It fucks up the whole map.
Right, it's just a nightmare. So just run to this jungle. It's going to take you like 10 more seconds to get there. None of the farm's going to go away. It's just jungle creeps. And then you give the enemy time to show you where they are so that you can then plan where to go next. And that's literally all the carry role is just manipulating the map to give you more farm than the other team's getting constantly by just reading the map and going where the other team is not and pulling them to respond to you.
From a more selfish perspective, just kind of going off of this to give you something concrete of like what could happen that would fuck your game over by doing this. It's like, let's say the enemy team shows up top, so you start farming towards bot, but then they all TP bot, and then your team is farming towards a triangle. Now all of a sudden, you have all 3 of your cores farming towards the same area, and you meet in the triangle, and then nothing happens. There's no farm for anybody. and that's a really good way to lose. Like you'll probably lose both side lane towers. When that happens, you'll like lose control of your jungle. The enemy team will be out farming you because you have 3 people in the same lane. It didn't happen in this scenario, but like that's just using your TP is something that can happen like 30 times in a game or something like that. Like
Yeah.
so.
And I think it especially happens to carry players because they like if they die or they end up back in their base for any reason, they're like, I have to get back on my farm, and so they don't want to take like the 10 seconds or 15 seconds to walk to the creep camp. They want to TP there so that they're immediately farming again, and it's almost always a mistake.
This mid push, once again, I think is another like your job is not to pressure that tower. It's just like you push the wave out. That's fine. You can farm mid. That's fine. But you don't need to be like doppelganging the tower and shit. That's what your other hero should be doing. Your PL. Like you can't do that at this point. You're going to die if the enemy team is good or if they're just having a good game.
Right. All right. Lots of stuff to work on, but I think that like your mechanics are fine for your level as long as you just focus more during your last sitting. So it's not the mechanic stuff that's going to hold you back. It's just these decision-making things that are making your games hard for yourself, and you can easily fix that kind of stuff. All right, we got a Coddle replay. Everybody's favorite hero.
God, I'm so sick of fucking Coddle, man. I'm so done with this hero.
Everyone's favorite hero.
Every fucking game I'm against Coddle Gyro.
Yep.
Oh boy, he pressed his Q on me. Oh, thank God it doesn't last infinite. Oh, he has a Coddle. It is infinite. Fuck, I guess I'm dead. 2,000 damage at level 5. Totally reasonable. Oh, I'm just going to hit this rocket. Oh, fuck, I have 70% miss chance. I can't hit the fucking rocket. Well, thank God there's not another one. Oh, fuck, he sent a second one because the spell also reduces the cooldown of that piece of shit spell. Dude, it's just a dirty old man lane. Like, they're actually just the two dirtiest old men in Dota.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
And anybody who picks Coddle or Gyro or Coddle Gyro are dirty old men themselves.
Oh man, that is funny. They both are creepy, weird old men. Good stuff.
So sick of it. All right, let's see the Coddle replay. Okay, right. Number 1.
So,
go fuck yourself.
And next replay.
Yep.
All right.
So you're against the tree.
We were doing fine in the first 25 minutes, and something happened. I tried only to fight when my ult was up. That's not a whole lot of context, but I guess we can just look at the graph. Looks like things were starting to go well.
Something happened.
Then you threw, and then
the event.
And then they counter through, and then you guys just lost. So, I guess we can just go there. This is a weird lane, by the way. Oh wait, is Lena?
He's just cutting the trees.
Oh, okay.
For the treant.
Good job.
Which is fine.
Fart tuna sounds like maybe a Jenkins Smurf.
That is actually a pretty good name. Holy shit, I like that. I would say here though, like, this is probably your Sand King's job to get the Quelling Blade and cut these trees. Also, there's a Lena who has the stun, and also you have literally 0 regen.
Where's your items?
I think he bought 2 wards, Courier, Tango, Quelling Blade, and Sentry, right?
But
like, you need to not have 1 ward, or you need to not have the Sentry.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, I mean, why even buy a Sentry if you're going to cut all the trees? It's like the treant can't play in the lane anyway.
I guess to like de-ward the camp top or something, but I would say that you really want to be careful buying literally no regen. What happens if they just hit you like a few times and you have no regen, and then you have to like walk back to base or use the courier, and there's like 30 seconds to a minute.
Yeah, this isn't even your lane.
Yeah, this is like we've talked about this, Donnie, where it's kind of like not just committing to one thing. It's like you're committing to like winning this lane, but then you're also gonna play top.
You're like trying. You're trying too hard, is what it comes down to in this. Like you're actually
a little bit.
You're trying to make this like super next level play where you like go bottom and you Quelling Blade all the trees, so your Sand King is the most perfect lane ever. But it's like he's gonna have a fine lane anyway. And it's kind of not your job to do this.
Yeah, I mean, if this is what the Lena should be doing, or the Sand King with the Quelling Blade, or I mean, definitely not you. Like your Ember Spear could get really fucked over by you having no regen.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
Really
think that
dangerous.
people realize that as supports. It's like you are another HP pool that can absorb damage in the lane, and it's really
And
important that that exists because otherwise they're just going to right click your carry.
and you literally can give regen to your carry. Like
Yeah,
you
that
can
too.
press salves on them and you can give them tangos to use as well.
That too.
So you need to be. So I mean, you have to use the courier anyway, right?
Or is he just going to suicide? I'm kind of curious.
I mean, I would suicide at this point, but it's still like regen's not that expensive, you know. And it's also for your carry. Like, what if they hit your carry then?
Right.
You know, your carry can't fucking suicide. I mean, he can, but
Yeah, you're in a
what
Skyrath
what is it?
Phoenix lane with no regen.
Yeah, what is this? What does the carry have? Regen wise.
6
Oh
tangos.
boy, good luck.
Right, yeah.
Good luck, friend.
This lane's over
All
already.
right, you lost the lane.
Yep, the lane's over.
Oh
Yeah,
boy.
the lane's over. I mean, it's that simple. The lane's over, and potentially your mid lane
Man,
is now over too if you pull the courier
if you
over
use the
here.
courier, yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
let me tell you, oh thank God this guy's throwing like a giant idiot. Cool. Still doesn't I mean lucky. Very lucky. Man, I played a game where I was Ursa and I went Orb of Venom first, and the lane that I was up against uh, it was like Legion Commander +1 or something like that. And because of the Orb of Venom, I didn't have enough regen, and I had to send the courier out at like 2 or 3 minutes with regen. But at that point, I had lost the lane, and then I just got like hella snowballed on. We lost every lane. Every fight that I showed up to, they just like bursted me. And I literally like I watched the replay and I deduced that the biggest mistake was going Orb of Venom first.
Right, because
Like
you didn't have
that
enough
was
regen.
I just didn't have enough. Like, what could have happened in the lane if I had regen?
Yep.
Is that they trade with me, I trade with them. I'm an Ursa, I win the trade, and then they have to leave the lane. But I had to leave the lane because I just went over Venom first. They had way more regen than me.
Right. I've definitely done that a bunch of times where you're like, oh, well, I can be greedy in this lane because I'm strong, and then you just get out traded for like 2 minutes,
Yeah,
and then you're just like, wait, I can't do anything.
yeah, and then like a minute passes where you can't step up to the wave, and then that's enough to get them like a 2 level advantage or some shit, or
Yep.
they get a pull off, or you have to walk back to something. Something happens where you can't. You know, like a level 5 Ursa should be able to trade with a level 5 Legion Commander, but a level 4 Ursa can't trade with a level 5 Legion Commander. Like Dota heroes are that close in balance. Like they're all broken, you know.
Right.
That yeah. Now you have to use the courier in your mid lane. Is your mid lane's against an SF?
Right. Which absolutely needs, and it's a melee hero against SF, so your PA is about to get completely dumped on.
Do we have the Discord link in the? Oh no, we don't have it in the description.
That's my bad.
I'll link it. I'll link it to the boys.
Cool. Should we go to like this 25-minute spot?
Yeah, sure.
I think we've harped on this point a bit. I think you just want to fight, so this is coming up to the moment at which things go poorly for your team. Your item
So
build is fine.
tower situation looks even,
Yep.
which is cool.
1k lead for you.
Really good vision for taking this tower.
Yep.
Void is dead. As long as you guys don't do something incredibly throwy here, this should be a relatively free tower. All right. I would say that
You're
positioning wise,
Yeah, you're standing way too close for your team.
well, somebody needs to be standing on the high ground and checking to see if they're TPing into the shrine. Like this is just this is an incorrect positioning from like it should be somebody like Sand King,
Probably you.
Coddle, Lena. It doesn't matter. It needs to be somebody. It can't be the guy that's hitting the tower, obviously.
Yeah. It probably should be Coddle just because you're fast and you have long cast range, so.
Yeah, it can be a pause 5. Pause 5s are fine for doing that. Oh, we canceled Epi. Oh no.
Still a good ult.
Oh boy. You killed the Phoenix egg. It's not bad.
Double damage
Oh,
BA doing work.
Jesus. Dude, imagine if he didn't cancel Epicenter.
Everybody dies.
Holy shit.
Are you guys gonna throw going high ground? Is that what's gonna happen right now?
Is this the high ground throw? The classic?
The classic. Where are you going, sir? Okay, you're pulling the creeps to your
Hey,
team.
one sec. Hey, Jeff Ross, Big J, make sure to post in the Patreon replay review. I know that's confusing, but that chat I think that you posted it in is just for like the bot, right?
Yeah, if you're a new patron, make sure that you have linked your Discord to your Patreon account because it will give you automatic roles in Discord, such as the Patreon specific roles.
Yeah, if we get to the end of these replays and it doesn't give you the role or it doesn't work, we can just take the replays directly from you. It's no big deal. But
yeah, also make sure you're in the correct tier because we got a couple patrons that were $6 patrons and replay reviews the $12 patron one.
Fuck those $6 patrons, man.
Just saying, man. If you're trying to get into the correct channel and you're not the right tier, it's not going to happen. So you got to make sure you're in the right tier so you can actually give us the replays.
I'm gonna pour more tea. Give me a quick minute. Oh.
Oh, so you're $6. Okay, well that gets you like the Q&A one, so you can always just ask us questions in the Q&A chat. But still, there's a couple specific Patreon channels. So do make sure that you link your Discord to your Patreon because it will put you in the Patreon exclusive channels. You just won't have access to the replay review one, but you can still ask us questions and stuff like that.
Alchemy socks.
We probably should get socks. You're Canadian. I live in a very cold place. Seems like pretty good merch.
Yeah. I'm a big sock fan.
All right, so we haven't seen the throw yet. You guys are up 3K. I do want to. This is a new point that we've talked about a bunch recently. I do notice that you guys all sort of like went back to your side of the map and sat there for a while, which allows the other team to come out into their jungle.
Where all your vision is.
Where all your vision is.
You probably just want to, if you're going to make a move like this, you probably want to smoke back to your vision ASAP.
Right.
Because this is the problem with wards. Like, there's a certain quantity of wards that you have available, right? So, if you are moving out of an area, then it's, I mean, it's fine. You guys look like you want to play towards top. I don't think this is that bad. All I want to say is that you do have to be careful leaving an area, just because sometimes there literally aren't wards to take over a new area.
Right,
and
exactly.
It's a weird concern to have, and to be totally honest with you, this is only something that I've started thinking about like 2 days ago or something. Is that like, oh shit, we actually like we should move to this area. We don't have enough wards to do it. Actually, like this is fucking weird.
Yeah. Yeah, warding is really becoming just like such an interesting puzzle for me to solve these days because it's like with the limit on sentries, with the limit on wards, I'm like constantly finding myself in situations where I'll have warded a place that we didn't actually need to be warded because we were already going to take the tower there and then move to the other side of the map. And then it's like, oh shit, so I just wasted 2 ward sentry combos in a spot that we're actually going to be leaving in the next minute or so anyway.
And then sometimes you're just out of wards. They deward the area that you left and you have no map control all of a sudden. And then you can lose the game off of no map control for a few minutes. It's spooky. It's spooky stuff, man.
It is.
All right. But this looks fine. From what I've seen, this looks pretty fine in my opinion.
Yeah. But it looks like we're about to throw the game because we're about at that time. We forced the BKB out on Void. We're getting aggressive. We don't have vision to make this play, as we've already talked about, because all of our wards are bottom.
We did place one ward, but it was on the shrine area. It wasn't really a ward to fight this tower. You would like to have that ward up on this cliff here.
This may
So
actually be the hardest tower to take in the entire game, aside from a high ground tower. To be honest,
it's pretty hard to take. I mean, I think if you have vision on that hill and you're controlling it, it's easier. Like whoever has vision on that hill takes the fight here.
Yep.
And they don't, and you don't, but you're the ones diving them, you know. So
Right.
So now your SK is dead. You just need to get the fuck out.
Yep. Chrono is down. BKB is down though for PA, so the fight's over at this point.
Skybot back too.
Yep.
Just get out. Okay, good.
They do. Still no throw that I've seen so far. SF tries to solo kill your PA. Your PA gonna throw the game right now?
Would not walk up into that high ground there, boys. All right, you don't. Cool. I really do think. Are there any smokes? I guess you can't see in the replays.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I would say I like the way that you're playing the map and thinking about the map, and I really like the way that you're warding to play the map. I think this is actually very good supporting that we're seeing.
Yeah.
Which I believe this is like a Divine and Immortal.
This is like
Okay,
a
so-
5K plus replay,
Right,
so it
okay,
makes sense.
okay. So it makes sense. These are relatively good players. So what I would say is that there is a severe lack of smoking happening.
Mhm.
Like the assault top could have been a smoke wraparound. You could have smoked back to the bot area to where your vision is. You could have smoked to back off towards the SF bot to help the PA. Like there's a lot of faster movement that you could have by just having smokes available whenever you're making these map movements. And usually the opportunities where you're like, okay, shit, we have so much vision down there. They're entering into the area. We need to go right now. You have like 5 seconds to do it. So
Right.
most people try to have a smoke just in their inventory ready to go.
So if
So
they
that way
don't
they
have
can
any
just go.
smokes in stock right now, which they might, because he has a smoke queued up but hasn't bought it, so I assume it's probably just not in stock right now.
Yeah, maybe.
At that point, I mean, you kind of just have to play like the lane shove game and just wait.
Or you like control an area. That's when you play around vision. You control an area and you let them come into you because you know that if you're standing on high ground and you have vision, they're not going to beat you in a fight unless you royally fuck up. I think that top fight would have been a one fight if you had vision on that high ground too.
Right. All right.
Sitting on a lot of gold right now, definitely. It would be very unfortunate to not have like a glimmer for the next fight just because of like sitting on the gold.
Yeah.
That would be quite sad.
Even just buying a pipe for your team because you don't have one. Like pipe could be really good.
Coddle. I feel like Coddle probably.
I feel like
want a glimmer.
you probably just want a pipe on your team against
Yeah,
SF.
but SK should be building a pipe.
Right, but he's not. He's building a BKB, so you should just build a pipe.
No, I don't think so. I think if there's like a core that tries to solo kill you, a pipe's not going to protect you on Coddle, but a glimmer will, and glimmer gives you like magic resistance as well. It's like a small pipe.
That makes sense. All right, I'm still not seeing this throw happening. Like, what's going on here? They're just kind of farming back into the game a little bit. Oh, here we go. Sorry, jumped the gun a little bit. You guys are about to lose the game. My bad. Oh, look, we're fighting around our favorite hill that we can't seem to get control of. PA goes in, loses the Aegis, gets chronoed. Don't you just drop your ult right now? Earlier, maybe? I guess it doesn't really matter. SF with the catch on Lena.
Oh shit, they made you a sheep. Or they have a sheep, I should say.
Yeah, SF does, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I don't know. I didn't really see anything like overtly terrible there from.
I would just say once again, fighting around no vision.
Yeah.
Like, how you can't. One thing that I've realized being like playing a lot of initiators is that sometimes I'll like blink into fog and I'll miss a stun on somebody. Back when I was shittier and I didn't have this realization, I would think like, oh man, I'm just a shitty player. Like Universe would have hit that stun. No, he fucking wouldn't. He wouldn't have gone for that stun because it was in fog.
Right.
Like, good players don't play around no vision.
Yeah.
It's not consistent enough. You have to get fucking lucky. It's like you're pulling the thing on a slot machine. You know, it's like, well, I hope to God that I catch the Phoenix or catch this guy before he blows up my SK or blows up my Lina. Oh, I hope we can disable the SF before it kills Lina in one hit.
Right. It's not
You're just
consistent.
hoping. You have to fight around vision. You have to have a reason that the fight is going to go well for you. Otherwise, the fight is bad.
Yep.
You need to have more. You need to know that they don't have chrono. You need to know that you have a big gold lead. You need to be fighting around vision. You need to be fighting because somebody else isn't there. That fight top was a dice roll.
Yep.
And you fucking rolled snake eyes, man. That's all that happened there. It doesn't look like anything wrong happened because it was just a fight for no reason. And there was just random shit happening. And then you lost.
Yep.
And that's the problem. Sometimes the random shit happens and you lose. That's why you got to eliminate the random shit from happening in Dota.
Also, you had like 3,000 dead net worth on your hero during that fight. That could have been a Force Staff to save somebody. Could have been a Glimmer Cape. Could have been anything.
Yeah.
And also, I just don't see like any vision. You're playing against a Treant Protector, for God's sakes. You need to buy like 50 sentries this game or buy a gem really early on.
It's a good gem game.
Really good gem game. I've been buying gem more and more, and it's just so good. You buy it, you run out into your jungle, you deward everything during the downtime, you put the gem back in the base.
Dude, that's what Sonic does on Coddle.
It's
and
so
that's
good.
Like, I legitimately think that Sonic is anybody who doesn't know who he is, like a Russian streamer guy that I played on a couple of teams with, and I think that the guy's a fucking innovator. I think that he's a genius. He does that. It's crazy. You'll just like, it'll be 11 minutes in and you'll just look on the map and he's just Coddle behind the enemy tier 2s, smoked with a gem, placing wards behind all the tier 2s.
Yeah.
And he peace out and he's like, okay, we go smoke now. We have vision. It's like, dude, what the fuck? This guy has a gem behind the enemy base.
Right.
Like, but that's what he does. He carries a gem around really, really early.
Yep.
When he knows that an area is secure, dewards it all, and then puts it back.
Yep.
And it's just like, how many times are you just walking around your own jungle with your team standing all in front of you? You're never going to die, you know?
Exactly.
It's different from like, I'm going to go deward this alone. That's a different thing.
Right.
But sometimes your team is like protecting you by being in the right position.
Yeah.
Just because people are farming in those positions. Like, they're not doing it on purpose. They just are.
Right.
They're just doing it.
It's also just it's just too hard to find all the wards, and so if you have a gem, it just gives you almost 100% success rate, which can be so game winning if they just don't have any wards on the map. Like, look at your map; it's so hard to play this map when you don't have any wards.
This is a good fight though because of the vision.
Yep.
Now this guy buys back. Now I would look to possibly get out. Oof.
Pretty tough to get out against Phoenix Treant.
They bought back though is the thing. I mean that's. Yeah. I mean, your Ember can definitely get out. Your SK can definitely get out. Maybe the PA is fucked. But Ember could just use remnants.
Yeah. All right, so, I mean, this game is potentially over because you don't have buyback on your SK and your PA and your Lina. So that's not your fault. I do think, though, that the best course of action right here is not to immediately TP back to base. It's to go over here and shove this lane in. Because, like, they're clearly all running towards your shrine area, and you have this ward to play around, so you can actually push at least one more wave in, and then maybe make them run back towards you and buy yourself a little bit of time. But if they just run down a lane and take your backs, like, there's nothing you can do about it because you just don't have buyback. Yeah, so you lose the game off that fight because you don't have buyback on your cores.
That's a hard one. I mean, we gave you some stuff to improve, but you might still lose.
Yeah. With
those improvements, that looked like a very hard game.
Yeah, they just had like
team fight,
insane team fight, and there's nothing. Yeah. It's very hard to beat a team that has better team fight than you in the late game. You're just kind of like, you have to super outmaneuver and strategize them, and that's just asking a lot.
Yeah,
in a pub setting for sure. All right, Slick Mullet. Undying. Not a losing replay because all my losses with Undying are too old. Looking for advice with my laning stage and mid game. Let me tell you, I played a lot of Undying. And
you know how we feel about winning replays.
At this MMR.
Let's get them.
At this MMR, I would expect you to have like 30 kills with Undying in this game.
True.
Also, there's a Master Tier Rubik who is Guardian 3. That is commitment.
That is crazy.
You'd think after
How?
800
Yeah,
games of a hero, you'd probably climb some MMR.
yeah, you'd think so.
Let's see. Let's
That's
look at.
that's a solid hero.
I'd love to know what his stats are. I wonder if he has just like a slightly. Maybe he only has like a 48% win rate on it or
It's like a
something like that.
horrendous win rate. Yeah, he's just like playing a mass quantity of games.
Right.
I could see you doing that with Rubik. That's a fun hero, even if you suck at it.
Right. I mean, maybe he doesn't even suck. He's just like slightly below average, and so he plays like thousands of games of Rubik, and he's just has slowly lost MMR over the course of his entire career.
Imagine playing thousands of Rubik games and being slightly below average with a hero. That would suck, man. Okay, so Omni Knight, Rubik, Undying,
Buy
Kunkka.
buy a stat shield on this hero. That's a 5. Buy less mangoes and buy a stat shield. 2 sets of tangos, stat, courier.
Oliver Tree says a friend of his was Herald 2 and played against a master tier Medusa who bought 5 Eye of Scotties. That sounds about right. That's just about the only way you can be master tier and still Herald.
Now I'm just thinking about him buying 5 Eyes of Scotty every game for like 800 games of Medusa.
Dude, Herald is actually such a meme in Dota.
Every game must have gone for like 2 hours to buy 5 Eyes of Scotty as a Herald Medusa. Oh my god.
Medusa's got to own in this bracket.
That's
right.
so funny.
So let's see. Okay, so already I would say that there's a lot of just randomly running around behind your kind of area. Nobody's going to be there. It's not useful to be there.
Yeah.
You could have ran over and taken the other rune. You really want to like try to. Everybody in Dota understands that the laning stage is like the most important stage of the game. Everybody gets that. Why is that true? Because Dota's a snowbally game. You get a slight lead, you turn it into this massive snowball. Before the game starts is even more important than laning stage because of the nature of it. It's a butterfly effect, right? If you can step on a butterfly a million years in the past, no humans all of a sudden.
Right.
So before the game, you got to do shit. You can win this lane before the game even starts. What happens if you just stand in front of their tier 1 tower and decay them and you don't even let them enter the lane? And then your lifestealer gets 2 waves of free farm.
Yeah.
You win the whole game. You win the whole game from that one play. So you really shouldn't do nothing before the game. Take a piss, smoke a cigarette, whatever it is, smoke some weed, whatever you want to do that before the game starts. Because as soon as the game starts, you want to try to like get as much as you can. Otherwise, you're going to lose to players that are thinking about doing stuff before the game starts. Like these guys could zone you behind your tier 1 and not let you get to the tower and then do the same thing.
Yeah.
You know.
This is actually a very hard lane for you because Silencer's gonna just dump on you unless you get a little bit of a lead and then play aggressively on him. You can't just let a Silencer sit back and just glaive you for the entire wave, like the entire laning stage, because you'll run out of regen.
Look on Silencer.
He's got pretty good items.
Like, this guy has 340 HP. Go fucking hit him.
Oh, that's true.
Look at the Abaddon. Look at the Abaddon's HP.
That's true.
Hit these guys.
I didn't realize how much this guy was decayed.
I know it looks like they have a lot of HP because the green bar is huge, but I assure you they die in 2 right clicks.
Right.
The big problem from what I'm seeing right now is you're taking their HP away, but you're not abusing it by hitting them.
Right.
I swear to God, if you hit one of these guys with 1 right click, it's going to take half their HP, and you're going to be like, holy shit, I can kill them.
Right.
Neither of you two are... Dude, look at the Silencer. He's got 1 bar of HP. It doesn't even have a tick in it. Dude, he didn't have a tick. It didn't have a fucking tick. He had less than 250 HP.
Yep.
That's insane, man. You hit him once, and that's like 25% of his HP.
Yeah.
And then you hit him again, and then you decay, and then he's dead.
Yeah, you've got 20... Dude, you have 1,100 health. I feel like you should be frontlining for your lifestealer, but you don't have a stout shield.
Watch. Look at... Oh, get 1 right click off. Look at the damage it does. 1 right click.
Yeah.
Look at that. It's like pure damage.
Yeah. That's nuts.
and you kill them because they're just eating decays left, right, and center. But this is definitely one of those things where you got to understand the strength of your hero. No hero in Dota can trade with Undying, so just hit them. If you have to die, it's not going to be worth it for them to kill you. I can't stress that enough. Kill yourself to your opponents 5 times if you have to. Eventually, they won't be able to lane there, but you have to be a man. I saw a clip on Reddit of Eternal Envy telling his Undying to be a man, and then the Undying walks up, almost dies, gets a double kill. That's what this hero does. Be a man with big iron balls. Also, why do you have a Quelling Blade?
Exactly. Why is your first item a Quelling Blade? What is the purpose of this? Oh god, you just died to creeps. You just died to creeps. We're gonna go
Okay, so what I would recommend is that it looks like you're kind of struggling with the items here, which is perfectly fine. I understand that, you know, if you're Herald, you're probably relatively new to the game. I mean, tons of people play this game for like 12 years, so a lot of us are new to the game. But use your quick buy. You can control shift click shit, and Donna, use the new shop. Anyway, control shift click it, and it's going to go into your quick buy in the bottom right, and you don't have to run over to the shop and spend time thinking about, like, oh, what do I want to buy? I'm going to buy a Quelling Blade. This looks cool. Oh, wait, this has no purpose. I'm going to go sell it. I'm going to buy a stick. All of a sudden, you're fucking dead. You know, just use the quick buy so that way you don't have to think about your items. In Dota, there are these periods, these lulls that happen where nothing's really happening, and that's when you have time to like put stuff into your quick buy, to think about where you need to go on the map. The laning stage is busy. There's shit happening all the time. You fuck up for a second and you die. So make sure that before the game starts, you're putting shit in your quick buy.
Yep. And you explained how to do that, right?
Yeah, control shift click.
Right. Exactly. Or you can drag the item if that doesn't work for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, do
if
that.
If you hold control, it adds. So like if you shift click an item, it adds just that item to your quick buy. But if you control shift click, you can add multiple items to your quick buy. And most people will add like 10 items to it, just this big list, because like, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy this in this order. And that way, whenever you get gold, you can just instantly buy it without even thinking about it. It's like it's like
a shopping list, basically.
Yeah, kind of. But it's like you don't make the shopping list when you're in the store, right? You do it at home.
Yeah.
When it's more efficient to do it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, so okay.
I think you have auto attack on. I think I would turn that off.
What I'm seeing here is that you're picking a hero that's meta, that we probably have recommended. You are buying an item that you know to be good, Magic Stick, but you need to understand what your purpose is in this game and in this lane. And your purpose is to be a wall for your lifestealer to get last hits for the first like 5 to 8 minutes of the game. So neither of these items allows you to be a wall. The stick allows you to fight. The Quelling Blade does absolutely nothing other than allowing you to deward in one hit during the mid game, which you don't need to do right now. You need to use the gold that you got from your kill to buy stats and regen, and then you just come back to lane and you're tankier and you have more health, and you just sit there and you soak damage and you punch them in the face. And that's what you do. And that's what you do on most supports. You dump all of your early gold into stats. Like small, efficient items like bracers, circlets, iron branches if you have like if you have like 215 gold or something like that after getting a kill and you end up back in base, buy like a set of tangos, maybe a mango, and then an iron branch. So you have at least a little bit more HP and mana. And then you just do that and you progressively build up to a couple of bracers, and then you can buy boots, you know, like. But if your job is just to be a wall, don't buy anything else than stuff that makes that better. Like your purpose is one thing, and you should buy items that help you do that job.
Right. Yeah. We talk about a lot. We talked about that in the intro, basically, that in Dota, I think that the distinction should be more so like what jobs does a hero do in a game rather than what role is a hero. Because yeah, you're a support on Undying, but he can't push lanes. Some supports can push lanes. He can't siege towers. Some supports can siege towers. He can team fight. Some supports can't team fight. Like, Dota's a lot more hero-based than I think people make it seem. And
yeah,
I think that this applies not just to like Herald games. I think this applies to like 6-7K games.
Agreed.
People are still super role-centric, where they like don't take last hits because they're a support. It's like, dog, you're a shadow shaman. You should have like 200 last hits at the end of this game. I don't care if you're buying all the wards. You're
Right.
suiciding down. You should be suiciding down lanes, right? Your hero gets last hits. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, but I'm a position 5. I shouldn't have any farm. Not on that hero.
I've had people like literally threaten to throw a game because I've picked safe lane Leshrac. They're like, that's not a carry. That's not a hard carry. It's like, did you watch
That's
any
like
of the last 2 TIs where it was literally the most picked hero because it was played in the safe lane and mid and off lane and like
that's like the only carry that I play because it's an offlaner too.
Yeah.
I always play Leshrac.
Exactly. But
Fast carries are really good right now.
they're
Like
so good.
That's what the meta is about. It's about playing fast.
But I guess the last thing that I want to say about this replay is I think you need to learn to respect your resources a little bit more. To me, it seems like you're not really thinking ahead in terms of like, why would I need my health and mana for something that could occur soon? So I saw you tank the troll creeps down to like 200 health from full health, and then you used slow rip on yourself twice to get back up to like a reasonable amount of health, and now you have like 2 spells of mana worth, and this was all before the bounty rune spawn. So by the time the bounty runes were about to spawn, you had like 50% HP, 50% mana, which is not enough to fight for the bounty runes. So be extremely protective of your resources because it allows you to do stuff. It allows you to fight. It allows you to gank and farm and do all sorts of interesting stuff. And you need to have HP and mana to do that. So buy more regen, come back to lane with more regen, and don't just randomly take damage and use your spells unless there's an actual purpose behind it. Let's go on to the next one.
Well said. Well said. All right. Go next.
Going next.
Next is Injective. Abaddon was a win, but I played like a complete goof. That's a very Canadian insult. Goof. Plus got carried. Laning stage was whack. That's also super Canadian. Yo, dude, Injective is Canadian for sure. I knew it would be hard going against Lina plus CK, but overthought things way too much and just ended up playing much worse than normal. I think I'm confused about the jobs I can do as a position 5 Abaddon and when each job is viable/good. Okay.
All right. Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back.
Okay. I have no control over the replay, so does this show the draft? No, I think this skipped the draft. Let's see. Who are we again? We're Abaddon. Oh no, who's player perspective? Oh no, it's Queen of Pain. Oh no. This is useless. All right, what up, Chad? Can't do anything here. I watched No Tail stream. You could single pull without doubling the next wave. You can pull through. Oh, and I know No Tail likes to pull like range creeps, and sometimes he'll do like a half pull. I know he likes doing that. It's kind of hard to do, but it's really good if you can do it. Is there any benefit to single pulling when it just creates a double wave? Yes, sometimes you want a double wave because the enemy team is stronger than you in the laning stage. So that's when you just double wave them and they have no way of fighting you. Do I do private coaching? Yes, but I've been kind of busy lately, so I haven't put any sessions, but I will. I will soon. I'll let you know. You back, Donnie?
Yeah.
What up?
Yo.
So we have a stout. I would say that that's incorrect. We have Tango.
Yeah, you're not an Abaddon. Or rather, you're not an Undying. It's not the same thing. You're not trying to punch them in the face.
No, if you're harassing them, it's with your Q. You just want regen. You're not right clicking people.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You don't have to. So why bother? You just spam your Q.
Yep.
Who's your carry?
Did you read what he asked actually? Oh yeah, it's what to do as a position 5. Okay.
Doing the lane bullying thing, but you see that they're both there, so it's kind of hard. Okay, yeah, I would say that this is not the play.
Yeah. Definitely just go Q. Like, you need to be able to sustain this void to some extent because this is a pretty hard lane for him. They can stun into stun combo him to like 20% health in the first couple of waves pretty easily.
They're never gonna kill him if you just Q him though. Like
Exactly. If you just keep him topped up in terms of HP, then you kind of play this like you're a warlock. You just sustain your void, and then you win.
it's a better warlock. Like this seems to me like you've watched offlane Abaddons, and then you know that people. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like you watched offlane Abaddons. You know how offlane Abaddon works, but you also know that it's played in a safe lane support role. But you've never really watched how safe lane support Abaddons play, and it's not like this. This is an offlane Abaddon that I'm seeing trying to play in the safe lane. But in the safe lane, the reason this hero became meta in the first place was because the Q is so efficient, and you just spam it as a spellcaster. Yeah, this looks like an offlane Abaddon to me, which this doesn't work. This is this is like pseudo griefing the game almost because because you're now it's like a safe lane support Abaddon is not a melee hero. It's a spellcaster, right? Like you're just using your shield, you're just using your Q from afar. Should never be able to get double stunned like that.
Yeah. Also, we just had Electron. Respect your resources, man. You've used your shield on yourself twice to basically just like hit the Lina as she runs away from you. Read what this does. It dispels, strong dispel, in fact, which means that if you stand behind your void and use this on him every time he gets stunned, he will never die, which means that he can farm in this lane permanently with no problem. So your job is basically just to keep the void alive by using Q, and then anytime he gets stunned, you aphotic shield him. Also, pull the lane back.
This lane is already pretty thrown just because like you don't have the regen to sustain and you haven't respected your resources. So you're about to get to the point where you have no mana, no HP, and very little regen to sustain yourself.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you went for Curse second instead of Mist Coil, so you can't even deny yourself.
Just pause for a second and just look at like that's kind of half the reason this is a safe lane support hero is because you can use the Mist Coil to harass. Just look at Mist Coil for a second. Like 4.5 second cooldown, 50 mana, 120 damage and heal for 50 mana.
Yep.
That is fucking absurd. And you can suicide with 75 damage. You just walk into neutral creeps, get to 10 HP, and then suicide. And you come back to lane with 10 more Mist Coils that you can spam.
Yep.
10 times 120. 1,200 damage, man. 1,200 damage. Like, this is... I honestly, like... This lane is just thrown by the build. I feel like anything else... Like, you missed the pull. I don't even care, though, because, like...
Yeah.
You're not going to win this lane with this shit anyway.
Yeah, your build is just completely wrong for the position that you're playing. So, it's kind of impossible to analyze how you played the lane, because you literally should never play the lane like this under any circumstances. So... I don't know. I guess we just go to mid game, but I feel like your Void's game is going to be really hard because he just doesn't have a support. He has an offlaner playing in his lane.
And if it's not, it's very lucky.
Yeah.
Very lucky.
Yeah, so he has no farm because he got owned in lane, I assume. He has 5 deaths. I mean, I guess we can look at like how you play team fights, but it's like this game is... Okay, stop pre-shielding people, dude. Like, you really, really need to stop just using your shield at random.
Well, this is like an offlane thing. Once again, like this really is an offlane Abaddon. As a support Abaddon, you just stand in trees, bait spells, and you heal people.
Right. But I mean, there's so many really important disables on the other team. You need to have your shield off of cooldown like all the time to be ready for that stuff. I feel like you should never use shield unless it's to dispel somebody this game.
And the reason that's the case, I mean, the reason that I'm saying that like an offlane Abaddon can use shield to not dispel people, like what you're doing right now is because you have an offlaner, you have 2 cores. It's not your job to shove out lanes with shield. That's totally unnecessary. So if you were an offlaner, it's like you would have a purpose for doing that because you are the lane shover.
Right.
So I would say, like, yeah, as the offlaner, yeah, it sucks. You have to do it. You have to pre-shield. You would rather just exclusively use shield to strong dispel people. because hypothetically, if the enemy team is good, they just wait for your shield cooldown and then they go on somebody. It's like he can't dispel.
Yep.
And as an offlaner, it's like, well, that sucks, but you're an offlaner. You have to push out lanes. As a pause 5, not your job.
Right.
Not your job to push out lanes. Same thing as like, I hear people say like, I should go Vlad's on Abaddon safe lane. You should go like this or that on Abaddon safe lane or Abaddon support. And people always seem to have like an idea of this hero as if it's an offlaner when you're playing in the safe lane. I actually like Medallion. I think Medallion's pretty good, but it is still
you need
it
some
is still
form
a
of
little offlane centric. Like
you need some form of mono regen. I feel like otherwise you just run out too much in fights because your costs are fairly high with the shield and your mana pool is kind of low. But I think you just kind of buy whatever mono regen item your team doesn't have already on other heroes, I suppose.
this is another one of those situations where like you're playing offlane Abaddon by side pushing or split pushing a side lane.
Yeah.
You should be with your team. Like they shouldn't be able to die with you there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that is in essence this entire replay. It's like you're just playing a different hero than you're actually playing right now.
It's like offlane Nature's Prophet versus 5 Nature's Prophet.
Right.
You build totally different items. You skill totally different. It's like almost a different hero, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I always thought it was griefing to see like Nature's Prophet 5 rolls going for like orchids and stuff instead of like medallions and meteor hammers and things like that. It's like, you know, why would you pick this? Why would you just pick this hero as an offlaner if you're gonna do this? If you're gonna do the offlane things, you know?
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man. I had a Magnus today. He first picked 5 mag and then laned in the offlane and just didn't say a word to me. I was like, I guess I'm playing 5. And then he started buying wards halfway through the game. I was like, what the fuck is going on? We lost.
A 5 mag is not that bad if you have the
No, if you play it as a 5.
yeah, if you have the team for it too. That's like that's a pretty complicated one in my opinion because it's really sacrificing the safe lane.
Yeah.
Like you're really doubling down on just we're gonna max empower and out farm you and we can protect our jungle with the heroes that aren't mag.
Yeah.
Because mag's useless. It's really dangerous. And yeah. Anyway.
I'm just gonna go to the next replay if that's okay, because I don't really feel like it's kind of hard to talk anymore about that one.
I think there's very easy good stuff that you can work on from that. I think you'll find that playing Abaddon in the more pause 5 centric way. Sometimes as an offlaner, like you actually need to just transition to play the support pause 5 Abaddon.
Yeah.
It's like 2 heroes. There's like the right clicking, space creating, tanking, lane shoving Abaddon, and then there's the dazzle Abaddon.
Exactly. You're either a frontliner or just like a hard support backliner.
Dazzle, yeah. And sometimes as an offlaner, you need to. It goes both ways. Sometimes as a 5, you need to do the offlane thing. It's like 1% of the time. Sometimes as an offlaner, you need to do the 5 thing. That's like 20% of the time. So it's a bigger percentage, but still pretty small. Because otherwise, like you probably fucked up the draft if you need your offlaner to do pause 5 things for you.
Right.
It's like, well, why didn't you just pick a better pause 5 then?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I theory crafted that playing position 5 bounty hunter would work. It does not work.
Yeah.
I got reported for that game for sure.
Yeah, that sounds rough.
I was like, oh, I just provide vision and can snipe the courier, and I can steal ward from other people to buy wards with. It'll be great.
I've been queuing with some people that are pretty open to like weirder picks. Yeah, Z Freak and I did offlane CM and support SF the other day.
Interesting.
And we actually dumpstered. We dumpstered like a rank 20 Chen and like a I don't know Juggernaut or something like that. We just destroyed them.
Why the SF? What does the SF do in that lane? Like what's
so he went 7 mangoes and he just
raised.
He just raised. So I killed the Chen creeps and he just traded with the Chen and kept the Chen off me. And we were able to like double shove the lane with the raises and the CM, and then he had the aura, which gave him infinite regen, which was cool.
That's really funny.
It was good. It was just like we're like, all right, how do we break Chen? He's like, time to bust out the SF support.
That's so funny. All right, that's interesting. People are saying in chat like, why don't you do any mid replays? We haven't gotten to mid replay for a long time.
No, nobody submits mid replays, man.
They're already too good.
Yeah, there's something there, man. Psychologically, let me tell you, there's something to that. It's not a coincidence that we have
No.
barely any mid players that send me replays. I barely coach mid students as well. Like,
Yeah.
it's always like supports or offlaner.
Yep.
And sometimes carries, but mostly supports and offlane.
Yep.
Which is cool because those are the two roles I play, so I don't mind.
Yeah.
But
they're also
mid
players, man. It's true. They're just like, I already have enough impact in my games. It's just my team that loses me the game.
I win my lane and my team loses the game for me. Fuck, the amount of times that I've heard that. Jesus Christ.
It's not my problem. I don't need to be coached in mid.
Yes.
Alright, Lion Jug against Mars Venge. That sounds like a pretty terrible trade for you guys to take. Definitely want to click on their items, see what they have. We've got a Bassie and pretty stacked Mars. Your Lion has...
Sorry, I was getting tea.
Decent amount of regen. You have a decent amount of regen, but...
Who are we looking at, by the way?
We're looking at Winks on the Juggernaut.
Okay. I do know that some people start with like a mango on Jug because you can use it for the healing ward.
Or to spin on somebody if you see a kill.
Yeah. So, just a consideration. I'm not, it's like probably 2% better or something. I'm just saying that's what I've seen. I'm not a big carry player, but that's what I've seen. So yeah. maybe give it a try, see how it feels.
I think it depends on the lane, but mango's definitely not bad.
Nice try. You tried.
Unfortunately, Lion is AFK, so can't really contest the runes without your support player being connected.
Yeah. Probably want to press the F9 button. I would say that's probably the first.
They already used all their pauses, I think.
Oh, they used all of them. Oh,
yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah.
That's really not good. Well, no point in watching the laning stage then, because
it's literally not a real laning stage.
This is you just aggro drag into tower.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on? All right, if the enemy team pauses, I'm gonna be so mad.
Oh, you reconnected. Yeah, you definitely just drag one creep at a time into tower, last hit, shove the lane out, go hit the small camp, maybe pull.
No, pull the small camp. You pull the small camp. I always get triggered when I see carries hitting the small camp at like level 3. It's so fucking slow. You'd much rather to have like 2 or 3 waves under your tower.
Also, eat tangos, man. You haven't had any regen going for like the last 15-20 seconds. There's just no reason for that to be the case. This Lion. I mean...
You could use him to stack the small.
Yeah, actually, I mean, to be honest, what you should be doing is just using him to stack like mid or hard camp every minute.
I would stack the small and then just pull it.
You can do that too. Yeah, you can use him as a puller for sure.
People do that with like Chen creeps and Beastmaster boars and things like that.
Right, give the control over.
I have theory crafted that. Like you could do Beastmaster safe lane and you could just play the core and the support at the same time with the boar.
Yeah. I'm sure that's probably pretty good. And then you block their pull camp with your hawk every single time.
Dude, there's something there, dog.
For sure.
There's something there. You just have all the things.
Hey, Lion's back after ruining your lane. After ruining your lane. At least you have
to come and probably ruin it more.
Right. All right, you have no regen. You should use the courier.
Wow, sucks to be you guys, says the guy who's fucking losing the game to a disconnected player. Dude, sucks to be you, bitch. Better be sorry. What a bitch, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like you need regen. How do you play this lane?
Just pull, I guess, which is what's happening.
Yeah.
Seems fine.
Well, surprise, your Lion did show up to lane and ruin the lane more by now leashing experience and not pulling for you. As if it was possible for him to ruin your game more than not being in your lane.
Yeah, this is going better when he was disconnected,
It
actually.
actually was. Now the lane's pushed up.
There's a hard pull to hit,
Definitely
but
use your Quelling Blade to
you
cut
got it.
trees.
You got it the second.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
All right,
Uh-oh.
Slark's here with a haste and double damage somehow.
Slark just got two... Hasted double damage Slark just got 2 free stacks of... This...
Oh my god. Okay. You had
What?
regen on your crew. I thought you were just TPing back to lane after
No way.
with stick Quelling
Winks,
Blade stout.
what's Wink's rating? He's pretty high, right?
He's divine too. We actually had a coaching session where he was showing up to lane with no more regen, and I was like, dude, you cannot do this and expect to gain
cool.
MMR.
Okay.
So he's
Did I do? I think I've coached Wink. I think I've coached Wink.
or maybe it was you. I know there was a Winks coaching session. I think I coached him also, actually.
Did I coach you, Wink? Have we done coaching? Yeah, I did coach him. I did coach him. Yeah, he also gave me some good feedback on the site.
Nice.
He's a programmer.
Nice. All right, we got level 2 Leshrac showing up for the fight now.
The double stun, nice. Too bad he's completely fucking worthless.
Yep. Yeah, definitely just go back and hit creeps. At least your supports are giving you some space finally for the first time all game.
Yeah, this is good. Kill the siege. That's excellent. Move that mango. Get some boots. Good stuff. Good stuff.
I almost like getting the chainmail first in this lane because I feel like your aggressive potential on Mars and Vend is not very good, and they're just
that's fair.
hitting
That's
you a
fair.
bunch.
Physical damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely that's always a consideration if you want to stay in the lane. I think it's okay to go boots only because when I look at this game, I think that
You want to leave the lane.
Yeah, this lane is losing. You probably want to leave.
Yep.
So you can go and like run at top and kill the Razor with boots just when you get Omni.
Yeah.
That's kind of my. I mean, I've said this before. That's my gut feeling on it, and that doesn't mean it's right. That's just what I feel in this game. That's what I would try to do.
Yeah,
Probably still lose, but that's what I would try to do.
Yeah, you definitely want to get out of this lane as soon as possible. Like
anytime shit's feeling like impossible and you just feel like you're losing the game, you want to switch things up, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You don't want to just keep doing the same shit unless you know that it's like somehow going to get better.
Yep. Agreed.
It's like, oh, when I get level 6, this guy can't lane against me, something like that. But I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, I feel like you're just kind of perpetually in danger being in this lane, and that's not a very fun feeling as a carry. Like, you want to play as safe as possible. I think that your commitment to pulling this creep wave and getting yourself some sort of lane equilibrium is admirable, but I also think you could just abandon this lane and lose the tower and go farm elsewhere, because your game is more important.
Somebody else could sit in front of the tower. Like, you go top, and like let's say you kill the Razor, or maybe you don't even. Abaddon can sit here, and he'll be fine. He's like probably level 6, maybe level 5, but he'll be level 6 soon. He can just sit on the tower and no problem.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like this. I like this.
Get a kill instantly TP top.
I like this. I like this a lot. This is fucking cool. And unfortunately, it doesn't work out. Doesn't really matter unless you die. Oh,
that's
too bad.
Pretty throwy.
What I would say there is that the purpose of making a rotation is not necessarily to get a kill. If you run at this guy and it just doesn't look like you can kill him, you don't need to like the one time like you omni him. If he sees you here and he just leeches you and he runs away and he can't play here, that's fine. That's good. You've already done the purpose of the rotation. You're top. The Razor has to fuck off. Whether or not he dies is just like, are you going to get an extra couple hundred gold? That doesn't really matter.
Right.
What matters is he can't play top. So you're committing for the kill when what's important here is just the lane rotation.
Yeah.
So you already did the good part. You already did the cool, intelligent part that makes you a good Dota player. But then you fucked up because you have bloodlust, and I have the same problem. Well, you know, if I'm being good, I don't have the problem. That's for any of us. If we're playing well, we're winning, and the games look good. But if I find myself falling victim to the same sort of bloodlust that we see here,
right?
Which is, it's like we need to kill this guy. I need to get back in the game. I rotate up here. I have to kill him, but it's he already left. He already probably sees you or has a feeling you're there. I don't know.
Also,
Doesn't matter. He can't play.
you gotta be very just like realistic with your chances of killing somebody. You know, you can make a rotation, but then wait around for a while. Like, you don't have to go on this guy the first moment you see him. You know,
Yeah,
click on him,
you can jungle in the area.
see how much health he has. Like, if he has 500 health, this is an awesome play. But he has full health, full mana. He's a level higher than you. He has more HP than you. He directly counters your hero if you're not omniing him. And so, you know, just hang out, like, jungle. Maybe even pull this camp. You've been pulling this camp. You might as well pull this camp and let your Abaddon just kind of like be in the lane for a little bit. Razor comes back, takes a bunch of damage from Abaddon. You show up, omni him, boom. You win the lane. You push the tower.
Adam D says, "Hey guys, I want to challenge you to go play 1-2 games of Crusader, and you will delete Dota. Trust me."
Already done it. 115 in a row. Thanks.
I actually really want to go play a game of like 2K, 3K.
I'll give you an account.
Okay, because I just want to make a. Because I hear that a lot, actually. I hear that a lot where it's like, oh, this bracket is really hard. I just want to show, like, they let me do this, so I did this. They let me do this, so I did this. Like, I feel like that might be a good way to figure out how to win in that bracket for some people. Just take a 7K player and throw him in one of those games. Because
Yeah, I mean, that's why people loved Henry's series on that. Where
I'll do it. Hit me up with that account after, Donnie. We'll get it done. What rank is it? What's the MMR?
I think it's like 1300 or something like that.
1300. Okay, maybe not 1300. Because what are the average Dota players? It's like 3K.
Like 2.5, something like that.
Okay, all right. Anybody got a 2.5K account? You want to hit me up? I'm making a video. I'm gonna go and dumpster some 2.5K pub and show you guys that it is not MMR hell or the trench, and that it's you. It's always you. That's just how it is.
Here's the deal. So, did you hear about FaZe Jarvis getting banned for using an aimbot in Fortnite for a video?
No.
Okay, so he's a 17-year-old Fortnite creator in FaZe Clan with 2 million subscribers on YouTube, and he made a video where he downloaded an aimbot to use it in a video. Not for like competitive reasons or anything like that. He was just like, I want to make a video with aimbot because I think it would be hilarious. And so he did, and Epic banned him for life, so he can never play Fortnite ever again or be a pro or anything like that.
Holy shit.
And so I was just like, here's our thumbnail. Is Jenkins going to be FaZe Jarvis for this video? Get on that clickbait.
Jenkins banned for life.
It'll be good. Anyway. Decision making, pretty good here. Execution, not so much. It happens. This is something that I've noticed from coaching you, is that I feel like you have a good Dota mind, but you are just maybe not experienced enough to really put into practice some of the concepts that you're trying to like enact. So I would just take a step back and try and like simplify the game a little bit, and just really focus on like, I'm playing carry, I need farm. What will get me the most farm? You know, maybe don't make all of the hardcore rotations and try and get super active. Just get your farm. Focus on that first, and then take the next step afterwards.
Yeah, that's I would agree. Basically, all I have to say to this is like, I agree with Donnie. The idea is really good. I love it. I was creaming my pants when I saw you make the rotation, but it's just the purpose of the rotation, I think, is different from the reason that you made the rotation. It's like, it's just to get you a game. It's just to move your hero to a different area. If you don't get the kill, you don't have to feel the pressure to overcommit. You know what I mean? It's like, I have that too, and I always catch myself, and it's like, fuck, that was stupid, or this is stupid, I'm not going to do that. Where it's like, you have the butterflies, like, oh, I have to get something done. This game is going so horribly, I have to do something here. But if you make the rotation, it just doesn't work out. You just have to be realistic about it. It's like being realistic about your regen in the lane. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
You can't just use spells that aren't going to kill somebody. I think that all of us watching this, and you probably when you were playing this, you knew that Razor probably wasn't going to die to a Boots chainmail jug.
Yeah.
You're just kind of hoping. You're like, I have to do this because that's why I came here.
Right. And you're like, oh, if I go on an Omni Slash and my whole team is here and we could kill him for sure, but your whole team's not there, and you're just like, my team will just somehow make this a good play if I go Omni Slash him. I also I also kind of just want to say this. You should consider playing 4 because you're just running at the other team. You have no regard for your own life at all. Like, watch this play. Okay, you're now at 15% health, 5% health, and you're still just running in. What are you doing? Are you a 4 roll or are you a carry? Because if you're a 4 roll,
Alternatively, you could play like Gyrocopter or some
yeah,
hero that's way more of an active hero, Gyro CK.
sure. But I don't know, man. You're not playing carry right now. You're playing like ganking Juggernaut. But
This
your team needs you to carry. So
this goes back to like the not respecting your resources thing again, though. Like this is a really common theme, I think, in Dota in general, is that you don't actually have the items or the levels to contribute to these fights like you would want to,
right.
and yet you're still showing up to them. That's a problem. Like running in there, like you can see that like maybe if you are way more farmed, then you kill 2 people there and you survive, but you don't even have a full wraith band, so you have no HP,
Right.
barely any damage. Your Pudge is owning though. Like you can actually win this game based off of your Pudge.
Yeah.
Cool.
There we go. It worked out. Somehow you killed a Razor who was 5 levels higher than you.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Is you just go with like
Lion or yeah.
with like 3 heroes.
Yeah.
Was that a mid Pudge?
Yeah.
Cool.
Your boy.
I like it. I like it.
Again, just another overextension. I mean, I don't know. I just don't feel like you're playing safe at all. You're playing a carry, you're having a bad game, and you're still just playing as if you were like the most farmed hero on the map, which just doesn't make any sense logically. So,
I
think you're just trying to do too much
right now.
You're
You gotta take the space.
You're just trying to do too much. You need to like chill out and just play carry, like in a very simple form. All right, let's move on to the next one.
Holy shit, Pudges of Radiance. Next, we have Poopy Pants Boy, unless this replay that you linked is something.
There's a guy in chat who said he was a new patron but couldn't get on Discord because he wasn't near his computer.
I think he put one in.
It was like Russian dude.
1 sec, let me maybe
What did he say his name was? He said his name was something Russian, so I don't see that. Are you just trying to you trying to game me right now, dude? And you're really trying to lie on replay review where everybody's watching? You lie about your patronage?
Lying
Hold on.
Piece of garbage.
Hold on. Let's see if he's actually in here.
I'm just joshing you.
Nope, don't see it. Not going to take this replay.
We've gotten... Okay, Poopy Pants Boy. Well, he's legit. He's in here. I mean, yeah, Pixie and Poopy Pants Boy.
Cool.
Is Pixie... Are you Jacoby? Is Pixie Jacoby?
I think Pixie's been in here for a while. Pretty sure he's been a patron for a while.
I don't remember. People change their names.
The next guy has to be a mid player. Well, let me tell you what. We've got an OD replay. It is a mid replay. He went 23, 7, and 10. And he lost the game, despite going 23, 7, and 10. So.
This will be a good one. Highly varied behavior score.
Also, you have a treant on your team named Poo Penberg, and your name is Poopy Pants Boy. So you got some synergy already. It's good
23 assists on the treant and 23 kills on the OD as well. So you guys probably played together with that synergy.
Oh yeah. Oh.
I'm gonna take a leak. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna poop my pants.
Questionable. All right. You ready for this, Jenkins?
Yeah, I'm ready, buddy. Let's
So,
go.
Poopy Pants Boy says, I've only been playing Dota for 9-ish months, and only the last 4 or 5 of those have been serious because I didn't know if I wanted to actually it. Due to me being new, I'm still...
What?
I think take it seriously is probably what he meant, something like that. Due to me being new, I'm still pretty retarded. This game is unranked because it was only my second game playing OD, and he seems like a hero I would enjoy. I know I made some bad rotations that resulted in nothing. Who should I prioritize using the Astral Prison on in team fights? I bought a BKB but didn't get effective use out of it, as I was concentrating too much on the mechanics of the hero since this is my second game on him. I feel like my laning stage was okay, but it could have been better as OD, or I guess other opposed to heroes as well. What should my goal be once I won my lane? The axe call is what got me killed most times. Many other issues. Don't be afraid to publicly execute me like a treasonous bastard. Cool.
Cool. Okay.
Solid, good attitude.
No, I love the attitude. I love the attitude. Like I know I'm bad and that's okay.
Look at this. Look at this Pudge build, dog.
Brilliant. Oh boy. But the I know I'm bad and it's okay is such a, like, so many people take their mistakes personally almost. It's like,
Yep.
you can't just pick up a saxophone and play in a fucking orchestra, you know? You can't just...
Yep.
You have to be realistic about getting good at things. Like, just because it's a video game doesn't mean it's an insult to your intelligence if you can't play it well. It takes tens of thousands of hours for people to be good at this game.
Yeah.
It's an esport.
Yeah.
So it's already a step ahead of a lot of people by saying, I know I'm bad and that's okay, because it is okay. It's fucking perfectly okay. In fact, I'd actually argue it's a positive thing. It's like, if you weren't bad, then you're just a TI winner who's not winning TI. That sucks. Like, you should be winning TI. You know, like, there wouldn't be anything wrong with you. It just doesn't make any sense to not think like that, but nobody does.
Right. Man.
I fucking suck. We both suck. We all suck.
That's
video games.
This is some next level use of your Astral. Using it on your own creep to keep the Pudge from getting a last hit so you can deny it afterwards. I don't know if you meant to do that on purpose, but boom, Astraling the creep, trying to get the last hit. Oh, getting the deny. Next level strats there.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
I think in general, what you want to do is you want to Astral the Pudge, however, and then deny the creep, and then he also takes damage from coming out of Astral. It's usually how people play.
Yeah.
OD against a melee hero. And
yeah, exactly. People usually use the Astral on them because it keeps them stationary. So
yep,
get the extra damage on them.
Yep. And also make sure that you're clicking on the enemy heroes, because you should see that this Pudge has no regen, which means that, and he went hook first, so you should just be hitting him relentlessly for the entire laning stage, because he has no way to stay in the lane if you allow him, unless you allow him to stay in the lane, which is what you're doing right now. So play more aggressively.
I love Equilibrium. I think it's such an interesting spell now, the way it is.
Mm-hmm. Aside from the fact that it makes OD a super boring hero now.
Well, I mean, he's OP, but whatever.
But yeah, Equilibrium's cool.
Boring.
All right, using Astral to secure the range creep. I think that's okay. Oh,
perfectly fine. Yeah,
didn't quite get it, but that's fine.
That's like just knowing how much spell damage the thing does, though.
Yep. Which second game of OD you can't really expect.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, general mid mechanics. Just like if you're a ranged hero against a melee hero, just hit the melee hero as many times as you possibly can for the entire laning stage. Like, there's no reason not to hit him because he cannot trade with you.
Yeah, I agree. He's not supposed to have a good time here.
Yeah. Also, I noticed that you go down to check the rune, see it's a regen, and then decide not to take it and come back to lane. I feel like if you're gonna make the trip to the rune, you might as well go get it. Worst comes to worst, you can always TP back to lane.
So what you're doing right now is when you just keep astraling on the wave, it's killing your creeps, or it's killing the enemy creeps.
Yeah.
So that means that it's gonna push your creeps into this Pudge's tower, and then when the creeps are under his tower, it's way too spooky for you to go and hit him.
Yeah.
So I think that there are situations where you'd want to do this. For example, if you just don't want to play in the lane because playing in the lane is like dangerous, or the guy that you're laning against is just stronger than
Like
you.
a sniper,
But
a
I think,
quap, or a better player or something
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
exactly. But I think you could just be hitting this Pudge a lot, and you could be really bullying him. But when you're pushing the lane into him, it's giving him free creeps that he shouldn't be able to get.
Yep.
Because like you see how you have nothing to do now. It's like creeps are gone, you push it in. Okay, creeps are gone, so you kind of chill around, check runes, do weird. It's like you're not really doing anything in the time that you're gaining by pushing the lane in towards the tower. So I think you just sit there and just trade the Pudge with your Q.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I think, what you're doing is fine if you're also going and like farming the jungle. Like you either play this hero aggressively or you play it as just a hard farmer and you don't want to deal with the lane. So either shove the lane in and get more farm during that time, or just bully him and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, I would say that if you're not sure whether you're supposed to win a lane or not, it's better to just get farm.
Yep.
And a good way to do that on any hero, doesn't need to be OD, is to push the lane, go jungle. Push the lane, go jungle. Push the lane, go jungle. Because then that fat dumbass is sitting in his tower and CSing creeps. You get the whole wave, and you're getting jungle creeps. You're doubling their farm.
I just want to say that you've been playing for 9 months and you just made like an immortal level rotation. You shoved the lane out, you grabbed a haste, and you immediately went top. That's good stuff.
This is the sort of shit where like as you get better at Dota, you lose this.
Yeah.
Because you're not objectively looking at the game anymore. You're doing things based off of.
Oh my god, just
ideas
sanities them. Just sanities both of them right now. Level 4 agi heroes. Just sanities them both. Not enough. Oh well. A man can dream. Anyway, this rotation's super good.
So the rotation's good. So you said it's your second time playing OD. Usually, what people do is they'll like Astral on a big creep wave, and then they'll Equilibrium because all of the AoE damage gives you the mana back.
Right.
So you could have full mana right now with just the level 1 Equilibrium if you had used it on the Astral top.
Yep.
Which would make your Arcane Orbs do more damage to these people.
Yep.
Yeah.
And allow you to keep fighting.
With the kill that happened mid, you used Astral on the wave, and then you stayed in the lane, and that's how he killed you. You didn't have Astral to. I think you did have Astral like right at the last second.
Yep.
To use it on him, and then the rock killed you. But with Pudge, usually he walks up, you Astral him, and you just walk away.
Right, exactly. Like right here, just kind of not really understanding the capabilities of your hero, like, and the matchup in particular, because you're astraling yourself to allow Pudge to basically set up on you at this point. Why not just astral him and walk away?
Yeah,
just a much simpler execution of the same escape that you're trying to make right now. Oh my god, it worked.
Well, that's what you want to do it to begin with.
Yeah. Nice double kill.
Yeah, I mean, not bad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. For only playing for 9 months, I would say that you have like a pretty good sense about how to fight. Like that's what I'm seeing. Most people would just run away when they're low, but you're like going back in for kills and like you have a killer instinct. So that's very good to have as a mid player, because you need to be like an aggressive person if you're going to play mid. So I like what I see so far in terms of that. It's just a matter of like get some more games under your belt as OD. Itemization wise, force first.
Not
bad, a
huge. But most people are going like Kaya into Blink or Veil into Blink on OD.
Yeah.
The reason for that is because this hero basically can't lose the late game just due to how his Q is pure damage and his ultimate can one-hit any hero in Dota if you steal enough int.
Yeah.
So a lot of people just go for like the greediest possible thing.
Yeah, he's a hard carry.
Yeah, he's a hard carry, exactly. So you want to build hard carry items. The Force Staff is kind of like, so here's where you Equilibrium. Okay, so you did. Cool.
Yeah, so that's good.
With the Force, it's like if you really need it, you think you're going to lose the game without getting a Force, I would say get a Force. But usually what you want to do is like get a Kaya Blink, and if the enemy team is taking a really fucking stupid fight, you show up, you kill a guy, and then you leave. You show up, you kill a guy when you have your ultimate, and you leave. And you only take fights that look really good for you because you are the carry. And that's why Kaya Blink makes a lot of sense, because when you have the ultimate, you can just jump in, pick off one guy in a fight that's already started. You won't start it because that's not your job. So, like, yeah, here you could run in with Kaya Blink, blow some people up. I would say, like,
Just
you don't
sanity
walk up
some,
into
yeah,
this.
there you go.
Well, then again, maybe it's working because they're just trading with you, which is pretty cool. You're just 1v3ing.
Yeah, because you're an OD with
Interesting.
ultimate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think in this game there's some merit to, getting maybe even a faster Blink Dagger, maybe not going Kaya first, just going like Blink Hex or something like that, because you have a PL who could be the carry, but then again, you can also just be a second carry and itemize greedily too.
I think you almost always want to go for some sort of other value item before Blink. Like, it used to be drums,
right?
now it's
Drums,
like either
sure.
Kaya or Veil.
Sure.
Veil's more of like, I want to be tankier. Kaya's just, I want to do a shitload of damage and be able to farm really quick. Like, if you have a Kaya, you just arcane orb creeps and you don't lose mana.
Yeah, I don't hate Veil this game because there is a lot of physical damage on their team.
Yeah, Veil's good. Veil's good. Plenty of people go Veil.
Yep.
Veil's really good.
Yep. Gives you the regen too, HP regen, which is really nice. But yeah, I mean, I don't really dislike anything that I've seen that much so far.
Well, for, relative to what we know.
Yeah, considering.
Because we know Poopy Pants has been playing for 9 months, but
right.
The stuff that we've said is still important, like item builds and not using your imprisonment aggressively, pushing the lane, and if you're going to push the lane, jungle, like that sort of like you could have twice the amount of farm in this game if you just jungled every time you pushed.
Yes.
Like that's nothing to scoff at, like you could have
sure.
way more farm. But there's nothing egregious that you've done that we've seen. There's nothing like, I think in 3 to 4K games we see a lot of really dumb shit. There's nothing that's like exceptionally dumb.
Yeah. Here. Also, holy shit, OD is overpowered. I'm just watching him like 3-shot everybody right now, and make it out of all these fights. OD is a hero. OD is a hero that will make anybody look good. But you're also doing a lot of good stuff for only playing for 9 months. Anyway, let's move on.
OD is a cancer hero. I think. Cancer, man.
All right, Pixie, mid, Kunkka, and then I'm gonna call it after this one because I gotta go.
Okay. Donnie's calling it, guys, not me. Just remember that this guy doesn't appreciate you.
Yep. Confirmed.
Oh, all right. Confirmed, I guess. Motherfucker.
Oh, was I not supposed to confirm your suspicions? You have Void, Kunkka, Zeus, Pango, Jakiro, and you lost the late game. That is a rough pickle to solve. Seems like an almost unbeatable team in the late game.
Sorry, I'm just messaging Wink. Let's see. Kunkka, mid, 4K. Not sure where I need to improve as a player. Bad rotations, bad items, bad plays. Where do I need to improve? You're asking too many goddamn questions. No, I'm just kidding. There's never too many questions.
That's always the very first replay that people submit. They're always like, I thought game was okay. Something went wrong. Please help. And then replay review number 2, they're like, specific questions and...
That's not good.
You know.
I know.
Alright.
I know.
So Zeus comes to D-ward for you, doesn't find it. All good. You're playing against a Quap mid, so you're going to want as much regen as possible, as quickly as possible. Get the block.
That's a counter matchup, though. You own this matchup, I think.
After the first few waves, probably, right? Or just full for the whole time?
Just generally. She can't ever really harass you out with your double bracer.
Right.
You the X for her blink. She's really squishy.
Good creep aggro.
Send the courier out, send a bunch of regen. Pretty cool, pretty good.
seems fine so far. I kind of like going bottle in this matchup, potentially, just
I
because.
think maybe eventually, but you really want the bracers first, just because it makes you unkillable.
Mm-hmm.
2 bracers, it's unreal. I mean, you're owning.
Yeah. So I mean, he said bad rotations or items, so I guess we can go probably speed through this bit and just look at the CS, see if we see anything bad. But yeah, everything looks pretty good so far. I mean, he's ancient, right? So decent player.
Bracer. Probably want to move that shared tango in so that it
Pulls down faster.
goes down faster.
Yeah, instead of the salve.
That's a small thing, but here's where I would just go Quelling Blade those trees over there to the right and farm the jungle, or at the very least stack the jungle like you could stack right now.
Yep.
Also, when people play, I would recommend watching a pro player play Radiant Kunkka, because the reason that this is so broken on the Radiant side is that you can stack the Ancients with Torrent.
Yep.
So you could have like a 6 stack of Ancients there. I would highly recommend just going to Dota2ProTracker.com, clicking to a Kunkka who's playing on Radiant, and watching them stack that, because this hero is unbelievably busted on the Radiant side.
Yeah.
And
watch like maybe play this or Sumail or something like that, and
at the very least,
Bryle.
stack the medium camp and farm that. Like, this hero just farms like a madman.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're owning right now, but you could actually have like 40 CS if you were just farming this every time you shove the wave out.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're shoving the wave anyway with the Tidebringer. At a certain point, you just want to Tidebringer the wave, go jungle. Tidebringer the wave, go jungle. Because why not? You can just get ultra farmed.
Yep.
You can like torrent boat the Queen of Pain, but after that, like, you probably don't. I mean, you don't need to stay in the lane. It's just, that was pretty cool, but staying in the lane is like not great.
Right.
Especially when it hits nighttime. Right now, it's like,
Yeah.
This is really dangerous. You
I mean,
just shove the lane and
exactly.
jungle.
Also, I mean, I think you can consider. Although, no, you weren't level 6, so probably don't want to make a rotation to the bounties.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, I definitely think you could have been a lot more efficient in terms of getting way more farm than you have currently.
What's the Quap have in Dagger? Probably at least 2 points.
3.
3 points. All right. Yeah, you don't even want to, like, what's the point in, if you just don't lane here, this guy can't. He has got 3 points of dagger. He's fucking worthless.
Right, like
worthless.
Like what are we doing here? What is this accomplishing? Why not just farm 2 camps and then come back and get this next wave? Like, there's actually no reason not to do that. So
I would just say your rotation should be walk towards the mid lane, X boat torrent the Queen of Pain, push the wave, go jungle, push the wave, go jungle, push the wave, X torrent boat Queen of Pain, just leave, just rotate between that. She's not going to be able to farm. You're going to be doubling your farm. Things are going to be good. There are resources that you can use that you're not. I mean, that's a good rotation, just walking towards top. That seems fine.
It's quite the overkill on the Shadow Shaman, however, using the boat when he has 10 HP.
I'm sure he felt that afterward. He's probably like, oh, that was probably overkill. Yeah,
sure. Yeah,
I think that's fine. I would go 2 bracers in this situation with these heroes on the enemy team. Lots of magic damage.
Shove wave. There we go. now we're farming this.
But it's 8 minutes in.
Exactly.
It's 8 minutes. Do this earlier.
Yep. Oh, and then we killed Quap. Hey, so right there, the last 30 seconds, 45 seconds of how you played this mid lane, do that for like the entire game.
Yes. I agree.
Also, I absolutely hate this TP. Really do not like this TP at all. Like, you have a free tower. Just take the tower. You can take the mid tower right now. Or if you're going to TP much earlier. You have to make this decision. Okay. You can either take this tower, or you can show up for this fight. But definitely don't half take the tower, then look at the fight, wait for people to die, and then be like, oh, now that they're running away, now I'm going to show up. Like, you needed to make this TP 2-3 seconds ago, or not at all.
I think it's worth letting your idiots die to get the mid tower, to be
I
honest.
agree. I agree.
I mean, yeah, it's one or the other. If there's like a tournament game, maybe it's like, okay, I gotta save my team, and then I can go back mid and get it later.
Right.
But
this is a massive throw, in my opinion.
Your idiots are probably pretty stupid, to be honest. So, I mean, using them to make space to do things like take the mid tower, it makes your game so easy with that tower being dead.
Yeah.
You can go into either jungle. The enemy team has way less space to farm. That means they can't get your tower. You can rotate. You can leave the lane without having to worry about going mid. Now this is like Nature's Prophet here, and he's being annoying. Like this, you shouldn't have to deal with the shit that's happening right now, you know?
Right. How do you feel about Spirit Vessel in this game? I don't like it at all, personally.
I think you could probably just go for like
Radiance.
the Radiance, the 2 bracers Radiance.
Yeah. This is not a Spirit Vessel game. Like, if you're against like a Timbersaw or a Doom or like an Alchemist, sure, Spirit Vessel makes a lot of sense. But none of their heroes really care about HP regen. Like, literally none of them, actually. None of their heroes are even that tanky, except for maybe Mars in the late game. But the Spirit Vessel just doesn't make any sense this game. And it actually really slows down your farm a lot and your impact in the mid game. And it kind of baits you into feeling like you have to just make rotations all game long. Because right now, if we look at your lineups, like I said at the very beginning of this replay, you should never lose the late game with your lineup against theirs, ever.
You're free farming. Like, I think you can just go late game and just win.
Exactly.
No way you just, like, you've such a free game. You want to abuse it by going for, like, the greedy item and just be a fucking menace.
Yeah.
When you get Vessel, you're not a menace. You're a support.
You straight up
like
hard counter. You hard counter 3 of their heroes, 2 of their cores. Their carry and their mid player, you both hard counter. So, yeah.
Hello, Doug VH, by the way. Thank you.
All right, so you go Spirit Vessel into Radiance. How do you feel about that? I think you just get the Radiance because it's faster. Double Bracer Radiance, 100%.
I think on, well, going back to the Radiant Kunkka thing.
Right.
I think on Radiant Kunkka, you should literally always go Bracer Radiance because you just stack ancients and then you farm it. Like, you can always do a greedy game and the enemy team can't stop you. So why this hero's half the reason why this hero is so broken.
Right. Yeah, it makes sense.
On Dire, what people are doing now is they're using their QB that they're starting with, and they're just clearing out the entire jungle, and then also like warding the jungle, and they're stacking, like warding on the high ground in the Dire jungle, where like if you didn't have a QB, you couldn't ward there, and then just stacking it and farming all of that instead of the ancients. Like, a little bit worse, but it's the same thing. Like, people realized this hero can farm tremendously fast.
Right.
So people are abusing it now.
I also think that look at that chronosphere. Oh my god.
Was that for the Ricky, I guess?
No, he just straight up used it. Ricky's not even at this fight. Quap dies. There's nobody here. Boom, chronosphere.
What? What was that for?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Alright, so, you know, obviously that was awful, but let me justify the Void's terrible chronosphere for a second, if I can do that. Your hero is the only hero on your team that can truly play frontliner. And you can make the Void's chrono unmissable if you make all of their heroes go on you with your Radiance and your tanky build, which you went for. Put yourself in that situation. Be as tanky as possible. Make your Void chrono you with your Radiance on all these heroes. And I think it just comes down to, like, you go for the double bracer, you get the Radiance, then you get the BKB, then you get an AC, and you just soak damage and sit there on the front line and make everybody else on your team do all the damage, because you have infinite damage on your team. You have Zeus, you have Pango, you have Jakiro, you have Void, and you have you with a Radiance. Like, damage is not an issue. Just become unkillable. Get a heart.
Yeah, like the build this game is probably like 2 bracers, phase boots, radiance, BKB, and then like heart, heaven's halberd,
Yep.
Shivas, something like that. And you
Yep.
just run in and be like, "Hey guys, I'm unfucking killable."
Yep.
And then they try to kill you, and then they can't because you're unfucking killable,
Yep.
and then they lose.
And then your Void chronos you and the whole team because they're trying to kill you, hopefully. Or maybe he just chronos the ground and then runs fast for a second and dies. It's also possible. And on
I
that
don't think
note,
that's possible.
let's get out of here. Thank you guys for submitting replays. Thank you guys for supporting us on Patreon. Patreon.com/Dota Alchemy. The link is in the description below if you want your replays reviewed next week and the week after that and every other week. Hop on over there, show your boys some support. We appreciate it a lot. We've got tons of awesome coaching sessions, one-on-one with me or Jenkins and a student recorded there as well for patrons. So check it out, and we'll see you very soon for another stream. Any final words, Jenks?
Don't chrono the ground, guys. No chronos on the ground.
Don't be void.